Mr. Deshpande, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for joining us. And sir,
Thank you for having me.
I will directly get into my question. Sir, ye EVM, can it be tampered?
And good place to start. And I've always said this in all wherever I've spoken. Yes, they can be tampered, they can be manipulated, they cannot be hacked. Indian EVMs cannot be hacked. I've always said that multiple times. And one of the most fundamental reason is that when they work, when they are in the polling booth, they are completely disconnected because they don't connect to any Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, internet, whatever. So hacking is taking control from remote and making a machine behave in a way that it is not supposed to behave. That's what hacking is. Manipulation is when you can make a machine behave differently by not taking control from remote, but either from within the machine or using the physical attributes of the machine, like pressing keys or whatever. So Indian EVMs can definitely be hacked, especially after the VVPAT has been introduced, which happened in 2013-14 timeframe. Because I'll quickly go over it because I think there are more important issues today, and we would like to discuss those. But quickly giving an overview, EVM has three components. One is a ballot unit, the second is a control unit, and the third is the VVPAT. Earlier, the Election Commission had never disclosed any technical details. But since we started saying that, okay, if we have to live with these three components, there is no reason why the VVPAT should talk to the control unit. The ballot unit should talk to both control unit and VVPAT and send the same signal, copy of the same signal, whichever the voter presses, the key value, to both control unit to save and for VVPAT to print the receipt. Now, the moment we said that, for the first time on 30th of December and followed immediately on the 30th of January, followed on 7th of February, the EVM came up. The Election Commission came up with a new FAQ where they said that this is a master and slave arrangement where control unit is the master of both these. So naturally, we can't now technically argue that the VVPAT should not connect to control unit. The problem is control unit and ballot unit are local. They're locally agnostic, which means the location agnostic means it doesn't matter to them where they are located. They could be in Pune, in Mumbai, in Jamshedpur, in Jammu, or in Trivandrum, or in Cochin. It doesn't matter. They have absolutely, it is irrelevant to them. They only register the value of the button that is pressed. Whereas VVPAT is locally aware. Just 10 to 15 days before the actual election happens, after the list is finalized, using something called as a symbol loading unit, the authorized people from Election Commission go to every constituency and download the list of candidates with their order in which they are going to appear on the ballot unit. And then they upload this data in the VVPAT. So this makes two things, this violates two things. One is that now you can't say that all the time the entire EVM is never connected to internet, because the symbol loading unit via a computer which is not in the secure custody chain of the Election Commission, that computer connects to the web server of the Election Commission. They download the data on the computer, copy it in the symbol loading unit, and the symbol loading unit now connects to the VVPAT. So indirectly, the VVPAT, which is a part of the EVM, gets connected to the internet for whatever time. Now, the data that goes in is locally aware. It's local data. So VVPAT is very much aware of the order in which the candidates of that constituency appear. Who's the first, who's the second, who's the third, etc., etc. So you can't say the same thing about VVPAT as you can claim that control unit and ballot unit are location agnostic. VVPAT is not. VVPAT has a program which matches the number that the control unit passes to it let's say it passes number 3, then it matches that number 3 with the list that it has and prints that symbol and the name of the. So it has a program which is again locally aware, and that program we assume that it will, let's say, if I'm the control unit, I say, ask the vvpat, I'm sending you 3, print the vvpat, print the slip for 3. Vvpat prints that slip, and then of course it has to tell the control unit that it has printed the slip. We assume that it will just say, I have printed slip 3. What if it tells the control unit that I have printed for 3, you say 1? It
Ah,
can very well say that.
ah,
Can very well say that. It's a program, it is capable of doing that. And it can do it on every third vote or fifth vote or whatever. The way it is. And this, for this, the program doesn't have to change when they upload the symbols. The program is already there. When the
correct.
symbols come in with some extra information alongside one symbol, that program will treat that. So somewhere it made it that extra information could be with the candidate number 1, somewhere it could be 3, somewhere it could be 5, but all that is possible. So vvpat can definitely 100% be played around with. It can make mischief. Now what happens is, vvpat may print the slip for candidate 3 and ask the control unit to say, save the vote for 1. Here, if I'm the voter, I see my vote slip to be printed the way I pressed the button. I press 3, I see 3. I'm happy. But VVPAT internally has asked control unit to say 1, which I don't know, which I do
Correct.
not know. That is a big problem. So,
Correct.
given that we are going into this election with the EVMs anyway, that is a conclusion now.
Even,
We
yeah.
have to realize we have two problems that are facing us. One is this unknown behavior of VVPAT vis-a-vis control unit, whether VVPAT tells the control unit to save a different vote or not, and whether the control unit saves it or not. That is a completely total unknown. And the second thing is the control unit. See, there are 10 lakh, 20 lakh, whatever that number, let's say 10 lakh units as per the election commission. EVMs, which means 10 lakh control units, 10 lakh ballot units, and 10 lakh VVPATs. These 30 lakh, they carry what they call as a digital certificate, which means they carry a pass. Like if I
Hmm.
go to board an airplane, I have to carry my boarding pass.
Correct.
If I don't have the pass, I will not be able to enter the plane. So this is like that pass, which means that, let's say, in the airplane there are going to be 200 passengers, then any of those 200 can enter, and they can talk to each other also while they are in the airplane.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
somebody who doesn't have a the boarding pass cannot get in.
Correct.
Similarly, this digital certificate allows these 30 lakh units to talk to each other, amongst each other. Anyone can talk to anybody. If I make my own EVM or buy somebody else's EVM, some other company's EVM, it will not be able to talk to these because it will not have that digital certificate, which is the pass.
Correct.
So to that extent, this is a security, but this security is at a group level. What happens is you never use all the EVMs at the same time. There are some spare because you don't know, something might go wrong with somebody, some EVM, some unit, you will have to replace it. So some are kept as spare. What can be done is, like in the olden days, ballot boxes could be stuffed with false ballot papers,
Hmm. Hmm.
and replacing the legitimate actual ballot boxes. Similarly, this control unit that holds the actual data, voting data, can be replaced with a spare legitimate control unit that has illegitimate votes. Somebody has stuffed those electronic votes. That can be
Hmm.
done because the only identification is the number that it has. And the numbers can be replaced. You can change those labels, or
Correct.
even if it is, etched, you can change the etching. Whatever can be done. That is the second very big problem, because there is no pairing involved here. And I've been saying this. I have written to the first thing I did when I discovered all this was I wrote to all the authorities. the Prime Minister, the President, the Chief Election Commission, the Chief Justice of India, that these are systemic concerns that we have. And these need to be, and this was way back about 4-5 months ago that I did this, I think in September sometime. So, and nothing happened. But this weakness remains in the system. We have to address these two.
Mr.
Given that
Deshpande,
we are, sure.
Sorry. Given that, please continue. My apologies.
Given that we are getting into this election with the EVM, we are going to vote. It should not mean to the voter that they should not turn up for voting. Voting is extremely important and everybody should vote. Don't worry about what's going to happen to your vote. Vote, because that is both your right and your duty. And that's the only way to make a change.
Stay ahead with our cutting-edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.